If you're getting comments like this is so helpful and you're so inspiring, but you're not getting the sales that you desire on social media, your content isn't broken, but your conversion strategy just may be. Let's talk about why people are loving your videos, but they're not actually heading to the link in your bio to buy. I'm going to show you how you can turn that around, especially if you're a business owner where you've been posting on social media, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, and you're getting the audience to engage with you, but that engagement isn't turning into payment. Let's talk about how you can turn that all around today. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 tips on how you can build your sales system on social media so that now you're not just getting comments that says you're inspiring and this is helpful, but you're also getting comments that say, how can I buy from you? Where is the link? Right? So thank you all for joining me today. Thanks for coming in. I did change my time for my lives. I was going live at 8 a.m. and I just felt like that time wasn't really working. So I'm testing new times with you all today and seeing if this works better. So thank you all for joining. Hey Yvette, how you doing? Hi, my daddy's Proverbs. How you doing? Hey, personal growth. How you doing? Right? Hey, Natalie. Thanks for joining. So if you're a business owner, go ahead and drop the name of your business in the chat. I want to shout you out. Right? Some of you may have been following me for some while. Some of you, this may be your first time seeing me. But regardless of what it is, drop the name of your business in the chat so I can go ahead and shout you out. And while you are typing your business in the chat, I want to go ahead and say who this live is for. This live is for the coach where you're already at 6 figures. You already have an audience on social media, whether it's 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers, 10,000 followers, but you're not sure how you can convert those followers into customers. This live is for you. This live is also for the ambitious business owner where you're stuck between 8 to 10K months. You've built a successful business through word of mouth and through referrals. So when it comes to you being offline, you're doing amazing, but you decided that you wanted to go to the next level in your business by coming online. And now your same expertise isn't translating into your videos. I want to show you how you can shift that so that now when you are reaching your audience, you're reaching the people who need you. You're reaching the people who have been praying for the solution for their problem, and that solution is you, right? So if you're in here and you're like, that's me, then this live is for you. I'm going to show you 3 tips on how you can switch what you're doing on social media so that you're not just putting out content that gets comments that says you're inspiring, you're helpful, but you're also getting comments that saying, hey, how can I buy from you? Because ultimately you started that business to be a blessing to others so that people could actually buy from you. Right? So, do we have any business owners in the chat? Drop a yes in the chat if you are a business owner. Thank you so much, Yvette. And if you're not a business owner, you can feel free to stick around if you want. But this live is for business owners. I teach all of my lives like they are master classes. Why do I do that? Because I understand what it's like to go from free to free to free. You're on YouTube, you're following this guru, that guru, and each time you follow the guru, you're getting the information, but you're not seeing the transformation. So with these live videos, I like to teach them like they are master classes so you can take note, take action, make some money, honey. Why? Because action takers are money makers, not time wasters. We're going to be together today for about an hour. I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems for you to be able to implement marketing into your business and your sales system into your business so that now you're going from whether you're at 0K months to 6K to 0K months to 10K months. If you're at 10K months, how you can get to 30K months. If you're at 30K months, how you can get to 50K months. When you have a strong marketing system and a strong sales system, each time you post, you will be getting people coming in and buying from you. So as you're in here, double tap on that screen, right? And the more you double tap on the screen, the more you like this video, then TikTok will share it out, Instagram will share it out, LinkedIn will share it out, right? YouTube will share it out as well. And you can share this video on your timeline or you can share it with friends. Just hit the bottom arrow at the right-hand corner, hit that, share it with 20 people. Why am I saying that? Because I'm about to bless you. I'm getting ready to bless you. So I'm asking you to be a blessing to someone else by sharing this live with someone else. Don't hoard the information to yourself, right? I also want you to think about this, right? There is a principle found in 2 Corinthians 9, verse 6. It says, those who sow sparingly shall reap sparingly, and those who sow generously shall reap generously. What you are putting out on social media is what you're getting back. So if you're showing up on someone's page, you're not engaging, you're not sharing, you're not commenting, and then you're wondering why your page is doing the same thing, it's because you're reaping what you're sowing. So if you're in here and you're like, I want to be able to change that. I want to get the follows. I want to get the comments. I want to get the sales. Go ahead and start sowing some seeds, right? Because some of you, you're lurking. You've been lurking for some time. You're a business owner, but you've been lurking on people's pages for some time. You just watch the video, you forget to like it. You watch the video, you don't even comment. And then when you post, you get mad that no one's doing that to you. But guess what? You reap what you sow. So if you want to reap a benefit of thousands of followers, if you want to reap a benefit of thousands of comments, start sowing the seed, right? We call this digital currency, right? Not everyone's only after financial currency. We call this digital currency. Digital currency is you just commenting on a video, you just sharing out the video, you just inviting a friend or tagging a friend. And I promise you, when you do this, you will start to see a shift in your engagement. Do we have anybody in here where your engagement is low? Just drop a me in the chat, because I'm helping somebody right now. We didn't even get into the teaching yet, right? But drop a me in the chat if your engagement is low. And if your engagement is low, I want to give you another tip for you to be able to increase that, right? All right, so we got Yvette, drop the name of her business in the chat. Bold Nutrition Consulting, a DNA-based fitness coaching consulting company. Come on, Yvette. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we got one business owner on the line. Hey, Kwanda, how you doing, honey? Right? Do we have any other business owners on the line? Drop the name of your business in the chat. Yep. Yvette said, yep, that's yes, I do all that. And so that's me. I love that. I love that. Right. Any other business owners on the line, or if you're a business owner, but you recognize your engagement is low. Do we have anyone in here where your engagement is low? Just drop a me in the chat. I want to be able to help you. But if your engagement isn't low, or if you just don't even want the help, that's okay. I'm okay with just carrying on. Right. Right. So drop a me in the chat if your engagement is low. I want to be able to help you right now. But if not, I see about four of you on the live right now on TikTok. We got 2 on between LinkedIn and YouTube, right? So let me know. But let's see. Hey, Curtis, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, right? Absolutely. Okay. All right. So it looks like all of your engagement is fine. That's good. I didn't see no comments in the chat. That means all your engagement is fine. That means that you are sowing the seeds for your engagement, right? So what we're going to be talking about today is why people are loving your content, but they're not buying. Why they're loving your content, but they're not buying, right? So I'm going to be giving you 3 tips on why you're getting comments that says, you're so great. You're so helpful. This is so inspiring. They may even be sliding in your DMs and telling you how much they like what it is that you're doing. But when they head to the link in your bio, that's it. They get lost, right? And so I want to show you how you can shift that so that now when they're headed to the link in your bio, they're actually checking out. How many of you would love to see that shift? People are like some of you religiously, you are checking how many people are clicking the link in your bio. The numbers are going up. They're clicking it every day, but they're not checking out every day. And you're like, there has to be something that's off. And I want to show you is something off with your content, right? We want to show you how to shift your content so that now people are going from just browsing to buying. That's the strategy, right? How do we get them from just from browsing to buying? That's what I'm going to share with you today. All right. Awesome. Okay. So I want to share a quick story with you, and then I'll go into sharing these tips. So have any of you ever felt like you have been hidden? Like you're in a season where nobody sees you. It doesn't matter how much you post, doesn't matter how much you engage. It just feels like nobody sees you, right? I've been in those seasons. I think I'm coming out of a season right now, but I felt like I was hidden for something greater, right? In 2018, God told me to start posting content on social media. So no, you told me to start telling my story on social media. And I was doing that. I was telling my story and people were like, oh, this is inspiring, but barely anyone was seeing it. And then shortly after that, a couple of years later, God told me to start posting again. Hey, Joy, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, right? So he told me to start posting again. So I start posting content. This time, more people are seeing it, right? To the point that people are starting to ask me, hey, how can I buy from you? So I went from barely anyone seeing me, and then I started posting. People were like, this is inspiring. Then I started posting more content, and people started engaging with me. And they started to ask me, hey, how can I buy from you? We love what it is that you are offering. We love what it is that you're doing. How can I buy from you? Right? And I found myself in this space like, this is very different because I'm accustomed to working the 9 to 5. I don't think I shared this with some of you, but I'm a TV producer. I'm a TV producer and a marketing coach, right? And prior to me being a marketing coach, I worked in television for over a decade. And working in television, I was able to work with actors, directors, Working in the television industry, I worked with some producers, right? And then God called me to quit my job in 2020, and He told me to start creating content full time. Now, working as a TV producer, I just got paid whatever my 9 to 5 paid me. Can anyone relate? You're working your 9 to 5, you're just getting paid whatever your 9 to 5 pays you. I never fathomed that I can get paid I can get paid more money than working my 9 to 5. It never crossed my mind ever. And then here I am. God tells me start creating content. I start creating the content, and now people are asking me, hey, how can I buy from you? This is where I am. Now, I like to say that it was easy for me to create the content, but no, there was fear there. There was fear with showing up. Who am I talking to right now? Where you want to create the content, but you're afraid to show up. You're afraid to go live. That's where I was too. It seems very easy now, but back then I was afraid to do it. But I decided, let me go against my fear. Instead of me just sitting in this fear, let me just step on the other side. So I start putting out the content. People are now asking me, how can they buy from me? And then another fear pops up, a fear of selling. Oh my goodness, what do I sell? How do I sell? What if I turn them off? What if they say no? Who am I talking to right now where you're okay selling in person? You're okay working your 9 to 5. But when it comes to starting that business and you're selling on camera, there's a fear there, right? So that's what happened to me. But guess what? I made my first offer to my audience and they started buying. And I kept making offers to my audience and they kept on buying. And here's what I learned that day. I learned that when people see me, they pay me. Come on now. When people see me, they pay me. And I got that into my bones. I got that into my soul. And I recognized if I wanted to get paid more, that more people needed to see me. So how many of you in here, you're in a position where you're like, I want my business to flourish. I want to be able to scale my business. I want to be able to reach more people. Well, guess what? More people got to see you. The question is, what are you doing to be seen? What is your business doing to be seen? Are you putting out the video content? Are you going live? Are you running the ads? Are you putting out the email marketing? Some of you are like, email marketing? I thought all I needed to do was put out TikToks. You could, right? But if your TikToks aren't getting the reach that you want, if you're posting on LinkedIn and it's not getting the reach that you want, what are you doing to be seen more, right? This is something that I teach all of my clients, that when people see me, they pay me. Can somebody write that in the chat? When people see me, they pay me. So if you're not getting paid enough, that means you're not being seen enough. And it's time for you to focus on a strategy that's going to get your brand out there. Now, word of mouth and referrals is good, but how can we make this greater? What if you can post content that actually reach thousands of people? What if you can post content that actually reaches your dream clients, where not only are they saying, thank you for helping me, but they're also saying, where else can I buy? And I have a friend who wants to buy from you. Thank you, Kwanda. Kwanda wrote that in the chat. Kwanda said, when people see me, they pay me, right? I want you to imagine your ideal clients finding you on social media every day, not just through referrals, but also through word of mouth. It's not about replacing what's working in your business. It's about adding to it. There are some of you right now, you are at 8 to 10K months, and you want to be able to scale to 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K months. And all it takes is adding another revenue source to your business. All it takes is adding another lead stream to your business. And so if you're in here, you're like, that's what I desire, that's what I need, then I want to go ahead and invite you to the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. In the challenge, we show you how to create content that sells in 5 days or less, right? But not only are we helping you create content that sells in 5 days or less, we're helping you create the content that gets you seen. The content that gets people sliding in your DMs and asking for what it is that you are selling. I recognize that some of you in here, you must feel discouraged because you've been selling your offer for some time. You're getting a sale here or there, but some of you have convinced yourself that social media just doesn't work for me. And although you're seeing other people with success, you're wondering, is it true success? There are some of you who are skeptical in here. where you're wondering, is this true success? Can you really build a six-figure business on social media? Can you really build a multiple six-figure business on social media? And the answer is yes. The question is, are you going to get out your way? Are you going to get out of your way? You could keep thinking that social media is for the young folks. You could keep thinking that, oh, it feels a bit kiddish when I'm posting these videos, or I want to show up professional. You can do all of that in your content. But the most important thing is when people see me, they pay me. If they are not seeing you, you're not going to get paid what you want. So how can we shift that? Now, some of you, your issue isn't a visibility issue. Some of you, it's a profitability issue. Some of you are getting seen. You're getting the engagement, but the people aren't buying the way that you want them to. And so how can we shift that? We show you in the challenge how you can put out the content and how you can know what to say in your videos to get people to buy. Not only that, how you can know what to say in your videos to get people to share your content and refer other people to you. Because ultimately, what you want to do is to build a healthy business that people want to keep buying from you on a daily basis. But not just so that you can make the money, so that you can make the impact. After all, isn't that why you started your business? Didn't you start your business to change lives, to transform lives, right? If you're in here and you're able to type in the chat, I want you to write in the chat, why did you start your business? Go ahead and type it in the chat, right? Yes. Yvette said, when people see me, they pay me. And she said, amen. Absolutely. Right. So I'll give you some time to write in the chat, why did you start your business? And then if you're in here and you're like, I want to learn how to create content that sells, I want to learn how to create content that makes impact, then I want to encourage you to head to the first link in my bio and just select Convert Content to Cash Challenge and join us in the challenge. Because in the challenge, we show you how to make impact. Yes, James said, I want to help my family. James Lisa said, I started my business to help my family. Yvette says, yes, it is why I started my business, to make an impact. Who in here started their business to leave a financial legacy to their family? You can just drop me in the chat. Who in here started their business because this was a dream that God laid on your heart? You can just drop a me in the chat. Who in here started their business because you were called to be a kingdom financier? You're supposed to be financing projects in the kingdom. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Yep, James Lisa says same. That's me too, right? We started our business to make impact. So my question to you is, how much impact do you want to make? Is it okay to just reach one person with one piece of content? Or do you want to be able to reach hundreds of people? How many people do you want to impact? If you're leaving a financial legacy for your family, how much money are you leaving for them? Are you leaving them $2? Or are you leaving them generational wealth? Are you going to build a system that constantly funnels money into your family? Or are you just going to post one piece of content and make $100 here or there? It's up to you. We all have choices, right? Hey, Janine. But if you're in here and you're like, no, I want to build a system for wealth. I want to build a system for abundance. I know what it's like to grow up in a family where we didn't have a lot of money. And God has called me the person that's going to break generational curses. And it starts with me being wealthy. If you're like, that's me, that's what I want. And then you started the business. So now you're posting on social media, hey, here's how I can help you. But you're not getting as much traction. I want to help you. That's my goal. My goal is to help you so that now your dream of being able to break generational curses, build generational wealth, help your family. Yvette says to teach people about the importance of nutrition and exercise due to their DNA genetic. She's helping people lose weight. She's helping people get healthier. If you're like, that's what I want, but you have been feeling stuck. You have been doing what everyone has been telling you to do. You've ran ads, Facebook ads and TikTok ads. You've boosted posts on Instagram. You've posted the videos 3 or 4 times a day. You've gone live every single day. And your heart breaks every time you're not hitting your financial goal. I know because I've been there. I have been there. I've done everything my coach said. I even did everything God told me to do. And I have not seen the shift that I wanted to see. And each day my heart would just break. Like, did you not call me to this, God? Why am I not seeing the results? And then I realized something. It's not just about doing the work. It's about becoming. It's about becoming the person who can help your family. It's about becoming the person who can help people be disciplined enough to lose that weight. If you're not disciplined in your marketing, you won't be disciplined in your finances. Come on now, that was a good one. That was good. I'm a fan myself. I got a little hot with that one. If you're not disciplined in your marketing, you won't be disciplined in your finances. We can't be here saying to ourselves, oh, yes, I want to build a successful business. I want to have $1 million business. And then you're skimping on the marketing. People won't see you without the marketing. I want to have a successful business, but then you're skimping on the sales. People won't buy from you if they don't know what you're selling. So if you're in here and you're like, I need to change that about myself. I can't keep posting inconsistently. I can't keep waiting to go viral. I need to make a shift in my life and actually have a system that works for me. A system that generates leads on a consistent basis. A system that generates sales on a consistent basis. How many of you want that? Drop a me in the chat. If you're like, that's me. That's exactly what I want. Then I want to go ahead and invite you again to our challenge. Because in this challenge, we show you how to build this system. It's not about posting and waiting to go viral, posting and wishing to go viral. It's about posting and talking to your dream client because they're waiting for you. They have been for a long time now. And at some point, they're going to get restless thinking that their life will never change, thinking they will never lose the weight, thinking they will never get married, thinking they will never be able to build that business because they're waiting for you to show up and they can't find you yet. When I say when people see me, they pay me, that's a real thing. The only reason why you're not getting paid what you deserve right now is because not enough people are seeing you. So what are you going to do to change that? You're going to remain invisible online? Are you going to join us in a challenge so we can show you how to be seen often, every day, with a system that is actually worked, backed by Holy Spirit? Some of you was like, that's all I needed. I just need to know Holy Spirit was part of it. That's the first link in my bio, Convert Content to Cash Challenge. Join us in the VIP experience. In the VIP experience, I get to coach you specifically on what to say in your videos to get people to buy from you. I get to coach you specifically on what to say in your videos in order for it to get pushed so that now you're being seen by not just any old body, the right bodies. Hey, Jacqueline, how you doing, honey? Shoot me a text so I know how you doing. The right bodies. Because some of you right now, the reason why your content isn't working the way that you want it to is because you got the right message, but the wrong audience. Okay? Right message, wrong audience. But it's okay. You're not the only one that happens to. It also happened to Jesus. It happened to Jesus. When Jesus was ministering and he was performing miracles, he went to Nazareth, his town that he grew up in, by the way. He went to Nazareth, and because of the lack of faith in the people, they were not being converted. They were not experiencing the miracles. They were looking at him like, don't we know him? We changed his diapers. He grew up in our town. We don't believe in him. And the word says that he performed less miracles. But then he went up the block to Cana. And in Cana, he was able to perform so many miracles. Why? Because right message, wrong audience will not get you sales. But right audience and right message will. So Jesus had to change his town in order for him to pull in the right people. And some of you right now, you are putting out content and it's reaching the wrong audience. That's why you're not getting the sales. Oh, I've been there too. I remember when I first started, I was calling broke people. I would put out the content. And let me tell you, this wasn't like boring content. My content's engaging. Go binge my content right now. But back then, my content was just as engaging. And I was getting a bunch of people who was like, I can't afford, I can't buy that. That's not in my budget. And I'm like, what is going on here? Is it me? Is it the content? But I recognized it was the audience. And I needed to shift my audience. So again, right message, wrong audience, no sales. Right message, right audience, so many sales. When I shifted my message and I shifted my audience, guess what happened? Built my business to six figures, kept on going from there. But guess what? I changed my audience again, because this is something that people don't talk about when it comes to scaling. When it comes to scaling, the best way to scale your business beyond six figures is for you to keep selling to the same people who bought from you. But what happens when the people who bought from you are tapped out? You think they're going to buy? Oh, that's what happened to me. I'm ready to scale, and the strategy that everyone's giving me, oh, go back to your same clients. They bought before, they'll buy again. Only problem is they only had enough to buy that one time. So guess what Star had to do? Change her audience again. I had to change my audience again. This time to people who had unlimited resources so that they can keep on joining my programs. But not just because they're joining my programs, but because I have value to offer them. And they want to keep retaining, right? So some of you in here, you're like, that goes way above my head. I may not be your coach, and that's okay. But for those of you where you're like, I am ready to get to the next level in my business. What does that mean? It means that you are at one level in your business. You were able to secure 5K months. You were able to secure 8K months. And now you're ready for the consistent 5-figure months. You want to be able to put out content and know that it will always convert. You want to be able to put out content and know that this is the type of content that grows my following. This is the type of content that gets my engagement high. And this is the type of content that gets me sales. And you want to be able to do this without having to pay for ads, because some of you have been burned by ads. Hey, Keisha, how you doing? And you're like, I want to be able to do something differently. If that's you, join us in a challenge. When you join us at the VIP level, I get to coach you. I get to show you what videos to create that's going to speak your dream client's language. Some of you now, you're putting out content. It's not speaking to your dream client. You're the expert. You know exactly what they need. The only problem is people don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. Come on now. Can somebody write that in the chat? People don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. So how can you show up differently in your content selling what people want? Right? I'll give you another example. This example is also from Jesus. Some of you are like, how she got all these examples from Jesus? I like to teach Bible marketing secrets because I saw how Jesus was able to grow his brand and keep converting people. And he's still doing it to this day. And he has ascended over 2,000 years ago. He's still doing it to this day. And so I'm like, that's timeless marketing strategy. So I teach it to all of my clients. And because of that, they're able to get results. And I mean, astronomical results. Some of my clients, one of my clients went viral. She got 60,000 leads from one viral video. Another one of my clients built a system for marketing so that every time she posts, she grows her email list, she gets sales, and she books up for her discovery calls. That's amazing compared to the fact that she wasn't doing that before me. But here's the thing. Here's the consistent theme with every single one of my clients. They all had some type of fear of showing up on camera. Whether they felt like an imposter, they were lacking confidence. They all had some type of fear of showing up on camera, which makes them human. It makes you human because some of you now, that's where you are. You're just fearful of showing up on camera, or you're showing up on camera, but you don't have the right skill set to convert, right? And so that's what we show you in the challenge, what it is that you can do to convert. Okay, thank you, Yvette. Yvette wrote in the chat, they buy what they want. So let me give you this example. Does anyone know what was the first miracle that Jesus performed? Right? So if you read the Bible, you can just write, what was the first miracle that Jesus performed? If you don't know, that's okay. I'm going to tell you anyway. I'll just give you some time because I know that there's a delay, right? But does anyone know what was the first miracle that Jesus performed? I know I didn't even get into my teaching yet. I'm totally in the intro of the video still. It's okay. We're going to get to the teaching, right? But I know y'all are learning so much. But what was the first miracle that Jesus performed? I'm going to just give you some time because sometimes I shout it out and then y'all end up writing it inside the chat. Hey, Instagram, didn't know that y'all were on here, right? If you're still here, tell me what was the first miracle that Jesus performed? I'll give you some time. Take some time to write in the chat. And if you don't know, it's okay. Hold on. I'm going to give it to you anyway. Yvette says fed the 5,000. Nope, that wasn't the first miracle, right? All right, so I'm gonna give it because Yvette was able to write in the chat. But if anybody else want to take a stab at it, feel free to write in the chat. So the very first miracle that Jesus performed was that he turned water into wine for drunk people. Yes, I said it. He turned water into wine for drunk people. Why is this important? Because he was at the wedding in Cana. And he could have given the people what they needed, which was bread and the bread of life. That's what they needed. But he didn't do that. He showed up giving people what they wanted, which was more wine. So, how can you, as a business owner, create content and give them an offer that they want so that they can actually buy it? That's the question. And if you don't know the answer to that, I want to show you how. I want to show you how you can shift that. Yep. Oh yeah, you should have said it, Yvette. You had it right. Yes, Renaya. Hey, Renaya, how you doing? Renaya had it right on Instagram, right? If you don't know how to create the content that's going to show your people this is what you want, then I want to help you with that, right? And so with that, I want to give you the three tips, right? 3 tips why people love your content, but why they're not buying. And this is the first tip, and I don't even have this in my notes, but this is the first tip. You keep giving people what they need, but you're not giving people what they want. And I see this all the time, especially with fitness coaches. Finance coaches. Finance coaches would show up and be like, you need to get your credit right. You need to do a budget. You need to save. We got any finance coaches on the line? I see that all the time. And I'm like, that's cool. They don't care about that. The question is, what do your people want? What will they pay for? See, the solution is for you to help them fix their credit, but they're fixing their credit for a reason. And the reason is what they want. They may want to buy a bigger house. They may want to be able to go on luxury vacations without feeling like that they're living paycheck to paycheck. They may want to be able to have an additional stream of income. But if you keep showing up with, you need to fix your budget, you need to fix your credit, they're not going to buy. For my fitness coaches and my health coaches, some of you are doing a great job, but again, you're focused on what they need. You're like, okay, you need to lose weight. You need to eat healthier. You need to meal prep. When in all actuality, all they really want to do is fit in their bathing suit for Memorial Day weekend. That's all they really want. I follow this guy on YouTube. His name is Mr. London. And let me tell you, when I say he got his marketing down to the T, he got that thing dialed in. Every video is, hey, ladies, here's how you can get rid of that fupa. Hey, ladies, here's how you get rid of that belly fat. Here's how you can fit in that bikini for the 4th of July weekend. That is his entire marketing. Totally caught my attention, that's for sure. I was like, oh, let me get rid of my fupa. And I be doing his workouts too, because he's giving us what we want. So how can you shift to give your people what they want? If Jesus could do it, you could totally do it. Yes, thank you, Renaya. Exactly. Renaya said, you give people what they want. Give them what they want. All right. So the creative therapist, how you doing, honey, says, yeah, I've noticed that. I give mental health tips that are useful, nothing, but if I make them laugh. Okay. So your mental health tips, they're useful, but you're saying that they're not like buying off of the mental health tips, but if you make them laugh, they are. Is that what you're saying? Or or are you talking about buying or engaging? Just give me some more details. You're talking about buying or engaging. But that's a good one too, right? Because mental health is big. And let me tell you right now, any of you who are doing mindset, you're doing mental health, that is big in the online world, especially during this time, right? But we have to understand what does having a good mental health do for your people? It's the outcome that people are seeking, not the journey. And some of you, you are sharing things on this is the journey. Do this to get your mind right. When in all actuality, they want the outcome of what happens when their mind is right. Okay, so the creative therapist says, yes, engagement is low for useful stuff, but engagement increases for silly stuff. Yes, honey. I'm going to share with you why that happens. I think that might be one of my tips as well. It's probably not. Okay. But the reason why, when it comes to your useful stuff, the engagement is low is because it's information overload. That's one. And number two, you are teaching things that people do not want to buy. That is huge. How many of you have been on social media for so long now that all the gurus are telling you, you got to put out educational content, you got to add value? How many of you have heard that before? Like, it's not new. It's not new. I hear it all the time. And so now you start putting out teachings, tips, tutorials, and tricks. Teachings, tips, tutorials, and tricks. Teachings, tips, tutorials, and tricks. Like, you start putting it out. And you're recognizing that it's your educational content that gets 200 views and 0 comments, or 200 views and 1 to 2 comments. And one of those comments is from your best friend who's just trying to help you out, girl. And it can be frustrating because you're like, oh my goodness, I thought I was supposed to be putting out educational content. And then some of you, you're like, well, I'm going to just keep putting out the educational content because I know that that's what's going to get people to buy. But let me tell you this. You don't want to be out here putting out any old educational content. That's the biggest mistake that a lot of business owners are making. Your educational content needs to be the thing that people want to buy. One more time. You want to teach something that people want to buy. Again, why? Because people buy what they want, not what they need. And so I'll give you an example from one of my clients, and we helped her to identify this very quickly, by the way. Christina is a career coach. She also is an HR manager. So she's running her business full time and working in her company full time, right? And when she first started, we identified 3 pillars for her: resumes, interviews, and negotiations. Those are the 3 things, right? We're like, these are the 3 things you will teach on your page. Out of those 3 things, guess which one was the thing that people started to pay her for? You just write in the chat. We did resumes, interviews, and negotiations. Guess which one was what people wanted to buy? You just take a wild guess. Right? Thank you, Renaya. You are doing good at taking these notes, honey. Yes, the creative therapist. I'm going to tell you this right now. You are the only person in the last 2 years that I have been teaching this to answer correctly. Typically, everyone says interviews, negotiations, but it's resumes. Yep, it's resumes. Every time she posts about resumes, her email list fills up, she goes viral, people start buying. And what did that teach us about her audience? That they had a trouble getting in the door. They had trouble getting in the door. She could talk about interviews. She could talk about negotiations. But on social media, when she's showing up, what gets people to buy are resumes. That's it. So your job after this live is to identify what is the thing that I need to teach that will get people to buy from me. Again, it's what they want, not what they need. I was working with one of my clients yesterday, and we were identifying her ideal client. And I was saying to her, this sounds like your language. This sounds like you're the one speaking, right? This doesn't sound like what they want. This sounds like what you want for them. How many of you do that? You're identifying your dream client and you are telling them, here's what you want, but it's really what you want for them. That's what we have to shift. Give me 1 second. I have to write something. All right. Yeah, I just had to send a text to my mom real quick. All right. Yep. The creative therapist said, I'm guilty of that. Who else is guilty of it? Because that's what it is that we want to shift. Now, here's the thing, because I'm not here to beat up on you. You're the expert. That's the reason why you show up like that. You are the expert. So you know what they need in order for them to get to the next level. So I'm not telling you to change your program. You don't change your program. For your marketing, all you need to do is show up with what they want. That's it. On the back end, Christina, on the front end on social media, she shows up with resumes. But on the back end, Yvette's like, beat up on me. On the back end, when they get into her program, she teaches them interviews and negotiations as well. So all I'm telling you is when you show up on social media, give them what they want. Jesus did the same thing. He turned water into wine. And after they were like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Guess what? He said, follow me. And they started following him. And then he started to give them what they needed. So I'm not telling you don't give them what they need. It's just on the front end, give them what they want. Now, who wants help with identifying what your dream client wants? Right? Like, who needs that help? Who's in here where you're like, I don't know what they want. I think I know what they want, but I'm so accustomed to always telling them what they want that I'm not really sure exactly what it is that they want, right? Yes, Fit Felicia says me. So I want to offer you the solution, which is the challenge. And I know some of you are like, you're still offering this challenge? Yes, because in the challenge, it only takes us 5 days or less, actually, because some of you get this on by day 3. It only takes us 5 days to help you speak to your dream client. It's not that long. When it comes to marketing, it doesn't take long to know what it is to do. The only thing that takes long is what's hindering you from in here. Some of you have been following me for months now, and you keep clicking the link in my bio. You keep seeing $297 for VIP, and you keep telling yourself, I can't afford that. That's a mindset. You keep telling yourself, I can't afford that. You've been telling yourself that since January. We're now in April. Have you been able to afford it yet? We're 4 months in, and you've been telling yourself, I can't afford it. We're 4 months in. Did anything change? No. You want to know why? Because I can't afford is a limiting belief. And it is what I want to say. This is like an anti-affirmation. You become what you speak. So you are speaking over your life. I can't afford. Guess what? You'll never be able to afford. But if you change your language to how can I, now opportunities start to open up for you. I used to be in the same boat. I'd be like, man, I can't afford that. And when I started asking, how can I, money started flying from the sky. I'm kidding. It didn't. It didn't start flying from the sky. But what started happening was I started booking clients. I started, what can I do to be able to afford this? Right? I've had clients come to me before they were clients. So I'll talk about one person. The creative therapist said, trick them into bettering themselves. But you're not even tricking them because this is what they want. This is what they've been praying about. You think me showing up live at this particular time was a coincidence? No. I was going live at 8 a.m. for the last 4 months. And today I just decided, well, let me go live at 9 and see what happens. And some of you on here, you're on here now. You actually get to tune in. You actually get to engage. It's not a coincidence. It's because it's what you've been praying for. It's because you knew you needed a marketing solution. But the thing is, God will only present the solution for but so long. Because after a while, the solution is going to go away because you didn't take the opportunity. And then what? Your business remains the same? Like 1 month from now, will you still be putting out the same content that doesn't convert? 1 month from now, will you still be looking at your finances and going, oh my goodness, God told me to start this business, but why is it not changing? Or for some of you, where you're not even Christian and you don't even care about that. You just started your business because you want to make an impact. But 1 month from now, you find yourself in the same position, putting out the same content, speaking the same language that is deterring your people from buying from you. How does that change your business? And most importantly, how do you make impact when no one's seeing you? It's a great question. How do you make impact when no one's seeing you? I want you to think about Jesus. The only reason why he was able to make impact is because the masses saw him. Thousands and thousands of people saw him and they chased after him. And some of you, your brand is supposed to be just like that. It's supposed to be super magnetic. It's supposed to have thousands of people following you, but it can't because they can't find you. So at what point are you going to get out your own way and stop telling yourself, I can't afford? You're like, I can't afford coaching right now, but you just went and invested in summer vacation. I can't afford coaching right now, but you just invested in birthday gifts for your children. And I'm not saying don't get them birthday gifts. I'm just saying which one's going to give you a bigger return. Like for me, I remember being in a position in my life where I had quit my job. I hadn't worked in 18 months, but I needed a business coach. And the only money I had left was money to pay bills for a year. That's it. And I had prayed and asked God for a business coach. And this is what God said to me. He said, you find the coach, I'll cover the cost. And I was like, okay. And one day later or 2 days later, somebody reached out to me and was like, Holy Spirit told me to reach out to you. And I was like, I bet you he did. And we spoke. She quoted me her price and I clenched my pearls. I was like, people are paying what? She wanted the majority of the money that was in my bank account to pay bills. I only had $8,000 in my bank account. So that was enough money to pay bills for a year. Yes, I live a very lean life. Okay. I don't have a lot of expenses. And she wanted $6,000 for her services. I was like, what? But here's what I learned. No, it's not even that I learned. This is a decision that I had to make. Here was my decision. Pay bills for a year, and 1 year later, go crying back to God that I need more money to pay bills, or learn how to multiply my money quickly so that 1 year later, I'm not crying to God about paying bills. That was my decision. Some of you, the reason why you're still stuck is because you do not understand the principle of be fruitful and multiply. You don't understand that principle. You are still dividing your finances. You are still putting money into a debt mountain where all it's going to do is take your money. The debt ain't going nowhere. I've had people tell me, I just want to pay off my debt. How's that going for you? Because instead of you learning how to multiply your money quickly, create overflow, right? Create abundance and then use money from the overflow to pay off your debt. You're taking your seed money to pay the debt. And what's happening? Now you have no seeds planted, so you can't multiply. That's a real principle. When God placed Adam and Eve in the garden, he said, be fruitful and multiply. How are you going to multiply if you do not know how to do marketing? If you do not know how to do sales? Your business was never meant to remain in seed form. It was meant to go out there and multiply your impact, multiply your income, and multiply your influence. Anyone that God used in the Bible, that's exactly what happened. Abraham, his influence was multiplied. How do we know? Because he is now known as the father of Israel, the father of the Muslims, and the father of Christians, right? But not only that, he is the father of nations. He has many people under him. His children went into the promised land. And he was very rich. That's what the Bible said. He was very rich. So he had influence, he had income, and he has impact because till this day, we still sing that song. Father Abraham had many sons, oh, Father Abraham. Okay, y'all don't come for me because I don't really remember the song. But that's the power of your business. But if you keep playing small, if you keep saying, I can't afford, guess what's happening? You won't be able to multiply. And then what? When it comes time for you to make impact, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hey, Deb. Thanks, Yvette. Right? So who in here, this is resonating with you? Just drop a me in the chat if you're like, yo, that's me. You calling me out. If you don't want to show yourself, that's okay. Hey, Mr. 1920 Young, how you doing? Right? But who in here, you're like, that's me. Yeah. So when are you going to get out your own way? Like, tell me, what's holding you back? Fit Felicia, what's holding you back when it comes to your marketing and your sales? What's really holding you back? Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, you can get all the skills in the world, but if you do not get out of here, if you don't get out your own way, nothing's going to happen with those skills. Absolutely nothing. If you keep telling yourself, I can't afford, I'm not good enough. Maybe next month when I get this, maybe next month when I get that. Some of you in here, you're like, I'm just afraid to get scammed. I don't have those type of fears. I don't, because I'm a very much believer in where I sow, I'm going to reap. That's it. And so I was giving y'all an example. I was giving you an example of someone where, of the people that I work with, right? I had someone, she wanted to work with me and she was like, I don't even have the money for the deposit right now. She said, give me 1 hour and I'm gonna go get that money. That type of people. Not the people that's like, I can't afford it and don't even want to try to figure it out. Because even if you don't want to try to figure it out, that means you won't try to figure out business. Like there are many business owners that are failing right now, and it's not because of lack of skill. It's lack of, I just can't figure it out. And they won't do anything to figure it out. But that's how they've been all their life. All their life, a problem is presented. I can't get over this. I can't do this. And they just give up. That's a mindset. If you can't figure out how to afford $297, there is no way you will build a six-figure business. No way. And if you are already at six figures and you keep using language like, I can't afford and I'm broke, you will forever remain stuck. Not because you're not getting the sales, because that's the thing. Some of you are getting the sales, but you're remaining stuck because of the word curses you are speaking over your life. And I'm going to tell you right now, your body cannot do something that you do not believe. So if you keep saying, I can't afford, you can't in 30K months, you can't afford 297. 30K months, you can't afford 10K. If your body will not do what you don't believe. It just won't. So if you keep speaking word curses, what's going to happen is you're going to keep getting sales, but you're going to watch your money keep going into debt. It's going to keep going into systems that you're paying for. Your money's just going to keep going away from you. And you're wondering why. But it's because of what you're speaking over your finances. Oh, I've seen it happen to me. I was tithing double. Can somebody write double in the chat? I was tithing double, not 10%, 20%. I'm that type of ambitious Christian. Yes, I am, right? But tithing double. And do you know, with tithing double, I still was bleeding money. There was a hole in my bank account. And I did not know why. Because I believed in Malachi 3:10, bring all the tithes into the storehouse so that my people will be fed. And prove me now to see if I won't open up the windows of heaven for you, to pour out a blessing so big for you that you won't have enough room to receive it. That's what I believed. So I said, oh, if you could do that with 10%, how much more with 20%? And guess what happened? I tied double and all my money, there was a hole in my bank account. I was bleeding money. And I told y'all I live a lean life. So I didn't even have that much bills. But my money was going away from me anyway. And God had to tell me it's because you are speaking word curses over your finances. You are binding me, Holy Spirit. It was Holy Spirit talking to me. He said, you are binding me. So I can't move because guess what? God can't go against your free will. And if your free will is saying, I can't afford, I can't buy that, I'm broke, Holy Spirit is stuck there like, okay, well, he can't go against it. So what did I have to do? I had to repent. I had to repent. I had to say, I come out of agreement with the enemy's language and the enemy's promises. Because the enemy, Satan, he can only be what he has. Right? So what does he offer us? He offers us lack and scarcity. Why? Because Satan is lack and scarcity. Why? Because he doesn't have that much time in God. He doesn't have that many resources either. That's why he has to try to pervert yours. So when I'm speaking, I can't afford and I can't buy and I'm broke. Guess who I'm coming into agreement with? The enemy. And God is saying, come out of agreement with him and come into agreement with me and speak words of abundance. So my language had to change. Here's what it didn't change to, though. It did not change to, I got 10K. I got 20K. It didn't change to that. My language changed to, how can I, Lord? Where do I need to be? What do I need to believe? Who do I need to be? How do I come into alignment with heaven? That's what my language changed to. There was one time 2 years ago where I had just made the most money in my business in a month. We made $17,000 in 1 month. And I was believing God for 10K, by the way. And we hit 17K. I said, oh, look at that, God. And as soon as the last monies cleared my account, fear came into my heart. Well, you won't be able to do it again. That's what the voice told me. You won't be able to do it again. And now for an entire 2 weeks, I was crippled by fear that I won't be able to make that much money again in my business. And you know what happened? In those 2 weeks, we got no sales. It didn't matter how much I went live. It didn't matter how much I was DM marketing. It did not matter. We got no sales in those 2 weeks. And I said, you know what I'm about to do? We in week 3 now. The month ends the following week. Right? I should say we're in week 3. The month end the following week. So we had 1 more week left. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the mirror and I'm going to declare that I'm making $1,000 today. Because I'm very much a believer in declaring and speaking what's happening in the spiritual. I'm going to declare this. And I go to my mirror and I say, I come out of agreement with fear. I come out of agreement with lack and scarcity. And I come back into agreement with heaven and what heaven has for me. That's what I say, just like that. I was very adamant. I'm going to declare I'm making $1,000 today. But I couldn't, because that's not what God had for me. When I came back into agreement with heaven, guess what happened? I made $1,000 that day, and 2 days later made $5,000. We ended that month making $12K. But had I declared $1,000, I would have totally forego the $5K that was coming and the rest $7K that came afterwards. And we made that in a week and a half. Okay? So when I say your language matters, it does. So if you keep clicking the link in my bio and you're like, I can't afford that, zip up that mouth. Actually, unzip it. Repent. Lord, I come out of agreement with the enemy's promises, because you have not created me to be lack. You have not created me to be scarce. You've created me to be abundance. And I come back into agreement with what heaven has declared about me. And then declare what heaven has declared about you. And after that, do what you got to do, boo. Whether it's a faith move or it's I got to go get some clients. Because I've had people do that. So many of my clients, actually, let me not say so many, three of my clients, where they were like, you know what? I don't see the money right now in my bank account. Let me go sell my stuff and come back to you. Some of you are afraid to tell people, go sell your stuff and come back. Not me. I've had many people that I said, go sell your stuff and come back. And they came back. But guess what happened? Because it was a new drive in them. It was not a lazy person. It was oh no, this is what I want. I'm going to go after what I want. Because again, people buy what they want and they do whatever it takes to get there. Okay? So you got people telling you they can't afford, that's too much, but they invested in college, they invested in luxury vacations, they invested in weaves, they just bought a new house, but they couldn't afford the offer that you had. Right? So we got to shift. Okay, I want to read what's in the chat. Felicia says, wow, this is an amazing live. So glad to be in the room. Yes, I'm so happy you're here too. Absolutely. Aaron said, been there. Wow. Right? Awesome. Thank you. Yvette wrote double in the chat. Yep. Felicia says, yes, they do. They buy what they want. So now the question is, how are you showing up, giving them what they want in your content? How do you show up, giving them what they want in your content? And if you're in here and you're like, I do not know how to do that, let us show you. Because you could try to figure it out over the next month, or we can just show you in one day. And then you can start putting out the content on what they want. And then you can start getting leads, actual leads who want to buy. Not the ones who just, they lurk, but they don't actually do anything. Not the ones who are clicking the link in your bio, but they don't actually check out. I mean, the ones who are like, I have the money now. Because that's the biggest thing. Some of you are talking to people who are not yet ready to buy. And that's huge. When you're on social media, you do not want to be sitting there talking to people who are not ready to buy. You don't want to talk to people who are sitting there constantly on your page, loving everything, but they're not ready to buy. What do I mean by that? Not ready to buy in the sense that not enough trust has been built, or they're distracted. Some of the people you're talking to are just distracted. You're talking to procrastinators. You're talking to people who are depressed. You're talking to people who have so much trauma. You're talking to people who are sad. Those people don't buy. Buying is a happy thing. Like, how many of you in here, you like buying? I'm raising my hand because I like buying. I like buying bubble tea. Oh my goodness, I love me some bubble tea. For the last 2 weeks, I've just been at the mall buying bubble tea. Like, it's delicious, right? I like buying clothes. I like going on vacations. I like the feeling of being able to invest in something. That's me. How many of you are like that? And if you're not like that, well, I'm gonna need you to get like that, because that's why people ain't buying from you. If you don't like buying stuff, why would anyone buy from you? If you show up like, I don't like buying, then no one's going to buy from you. Energy is transferable. If you can't transfer the joy of buying to someone else, guess what? They're not going to buy. So some of you, you're talking to people not ready to buy because they don't even have the energy to buy. Y'all ever saw those commercials? I think it's like Zoloft, right? They're talking to depressed people. And they're like, if you're depressed, if you take this medication, the goal is for it to lift their energy so that they can get out and do something. Because when you're depressed, you don't want to do anything. You just sit in the house and that's it, right? Some of you are talking to depressed buyers. And you now are trying to lift their energy so they can go out and do something. Cut that out. Talk to people who are ready to buy. These are people who are excited. These are people they already know what their goal is. They've already mapped out their strategy. They already know that they need a coach. They already know that they need a consultant. They already know that they need something to help them. Talk to those people. Some of you are like, how do I recognize those people? I want to help you. I can give you all the answers right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, you would not even value it. Because some of you you're full. You're already full and you can't even take in any more information. You can't. Because at this point, it's time for you to implement. The creative therapist says Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Exactly. That part. Girl, you have a wealth of information. Can you tell me what you're selling? The creative therapist, just drop it in chat. Tell me what you're selling. She said people who are in survival can't fathom improving or having fun. Exactly. So you want to talk to people who have high energy, people who are empowered, right? It's super important. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Wandy. How you doing? So good to see you on here, right? Okay. So I'm going to talk about, let me help the creative therapist first. Oh, I'll wait for you to write it inside the chat of what you're selling, right? So with me, when I first started, let me not say when I first started selling. No, yeah, I guess so. When I first started selling, right? I was attracting a certain type of buyer. Now, these people were ready to buy, which was okay. Hey, Tammy, how you doing, honey? Haven't seen you in a while. Right? So, these people, they were ready to buy. They were buying. They were paying me $5,000, $7,000, $10,000. And guess what they were doing afterwards? Not doing the work. That's frustrating. Some of you are like, they were paying you $5,000 to not do the work. Yes, that taught me a valuable lesson that I wasn't charging enough. That's where some of you are. You're over here selling MRR for $300 and you got a bunch of people in your program and they're not doing the work. Guess what? Your price is too low. It is. If you raise your price, it becomes more of a sacrifice. So they actually want to do the work. Okay, that's a story for another time. So they're paying me this money and they are not doing the work. And I'm getting frustrated. And here's what I recognize. I recognize the mindset. I was calling a particular type of mindset. I was talking to people who procrastinate. I was talking to perfectionists. I was talking to people who were trauma. They had a lot of trauma. I was also talking to lazy people and people who were too busy to focus on their marketing. And it absolutely frustrated me because I couldn't get results. Now, when I say I'm talking about me in a sense that when I'm teaching them, they're not doing the work. And I'm a bragger. Y'all sit here on these lives, you hear me talk about all my clients who was able to get this and get this and get this. That's on purpose because I like for you to see that this actually works. Like every client that I call out, Christina, who built her brand to 40,000 plus, and now every time she posts, her email list of filling up, she's going live now with her audience. Marianne, who was able to get 60,000 leads from one video. I think she started her page over. You can slide into their DMs and be like, did Star really help you? Keisha, when she joined me, she wanted to know, okay, what I need to do on social media so that she can actually be able to get clients. Then she ended up joining like a digital agency, digital marketing agency, and now she's getting clients that way. The skills that I teach you, it transcends no matter what industry you are in, right? So some of you are like, well, this worked for me. If you're a service provider, it works for you. If you're doing hair, if you're doing makeup, that's a service that you provide. But if you're in insurance, right? If you're a realtor, if you're an interior designer, I like talking to coaches because I recognize that coaches actually do the work. Some of y'all who are in real estate, you'll come into my program, you'll start to do the work, and then you start getting sidetracked with like, oh, but I got to focus on doing this, right? Because you're not seeing the result right away, but you don't recognize the seeds that you sow today is what you're going to reap later. So some of you, your business is where it is right now because of what you were doing last year. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to scale, you have to start putting in the work now so you can take your business to the next level, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, the creative therapist says, not selling anything yet, but I want to get into creative wellness space. But I'm a therapist by trade though. Okay, so you're not selling anything. You're just putting out content. So what's your purpose on social media? You're just putting out content to start to build the audience so that you can eventually sell something, right? Okay, there we go. So if you're in here now and you're like, girl, this is everything that I needed, right? This is everything that I needed. I need to know how to sell. I need to know how to give people what they want so that they can actually buy from me. I got to speak to ready to buy buyers, right? These are all the reasons why people are just like, you're so helpful. You're inspiring. I love your story. But they're not actually buying because you're not giving them what they want. You're not talking to people who are ready to buy, right? And what was the third tip that I gave y'all? Because I made them up off the top of my head. The notes I had here, I totally did not read my notes. I think it was, and you don't know what to say in your videos to get people to buy. Oh, no, that's not what it was. It was what you're teaching needs to be the thing that people want to buy. That's it. When you shift those things in your content and in your marketing, guess what happens? You end up like Christina, where she went from 474 followers to over 40,000. And now when she posts, she gets at least a dozen email subscribers from her posts. So if she posted every day, she posted 5 days a week. That's 5 times 12. That's 60 new leads a week. My question to you is, what would you do if you got 60 new leads in a week? What would that do for your business? I want you to write that in the chat. Oh, you're welcome, Yvette. What would that do for your business if you got 60 new leads for the week? How would it significantly change? Does it mean that you can now go on vacation? Does that mean you will be able to convert them? Does that mean that you will be able to pay your staff? What does that mean for you? For some of you where you were like, I want to be able to leave a legacy for my children. Does that bring you one step closer? I want you to think about that. Oftentimes we're just like, I want to get this, I want to get this, I want to get this, but we don't think about the impact that it makes when we actually do get it. So what would that do for your business if you were able to get 60 leads in a week? Right? For Marianne, she joined the challenge and she got 60,000 leads from one viral video. Would that build your business or break your business? Let me take it back a bit because some of you are like, those are astronomical results. It is. That's the power of social media. So the goal of social media is to catapult you into your next. It's not supposed to keep you hidden. So if you've been doing social media for some time and you still feel hidden, it's not that you're doing it wrong. You probably just have the wrong audience. We got to switch. Oh, that was the other tip, right? But we had Erica who joined the challenge. She's a school principal, by the way. And with Erica, what she recognizes that working as a principal it's nice, but she's getting closer to retirement age and she can't retire, not on what they pay her. So she decided I need to start a new business so that I can be able to make some money on the side so that when I do retire, I can retire whenever I want. And I have this money supplementing my income. And so she joined the 5-day challenge. And in 3 days, she made $750. Some of you are like, what? Yes, quick results, acceleration. Now, here's the thing. She joined at the VIP level. At the VIP level, it's only $297. For $297, she asked me one question, and that one question led to $750. Some of you are like, what is the question? I'm holding on. What is the question? But that's the value of VIP. Christina, when she joined our challenge, she asked me one question. It led to 30 leads. Shanice, when she joined the challenge, she asked me one question. It led to 50 new ideal followers. That's it. Some of you are thinking it's going to take a year and a day. Some of you are thinking that you need so much skills because you're not that tech savvy. While everyone I just mentioned, it only took one question. Can somebody write that in the chat? It only takes one question. That's it. One question. Not 20 million, not 30 million. The challenge is only 5 days for a reason, because we can show you how to do the work in 5 days to get sales today. And it only takes one question. So my question to you is, what is that one question that you need to ask? Not just anyone. What is that one question you need to ask me that's going to help you get 60 leads in 1 week? Get 30 leads overnight. Get $750 in 3 days. Oh, I can keep going with the results. We had one more person. She was able to make, I think hers was $300 in 9 minutes from one question. Thank you, Yvette. Yvette's like, it only takes one question. One question she asked me, she made $350 in 9 minutes. That's it. So if you're in here and you're like, dang, that's all it takes is one question. Yeah. Click the second link in my bio, join us in VIP, get access to your bonuses, and get your one question ready. Now, I'm not saying that you can only ask one question. Absolutely not. You get 5 days with me. So you can ask as many questions as you want. But it was just one question that got them what they needed. That's it. It got them to hit their goal. We had a nurse in our program where she was great. She worked 12 to 14-hour shifts, but she kept missing vital moments in her daughter's life. She kept missing birthdays and celebrations. And she was like, I can't go on like this. So she decided to start her business. But when she started her business, she wasn't getting views. She wasn't getting engagement. And it was absolutely frustrating her. She joined the challenge. She asked one question. Sis got 1,000 views for one video. She cried. She cried. But let me take it even further, because some of you, it's not a money thing. It's not an engagement thing. It's a mindset thing. Olivia, when she joined our challenge, she asked one question and depression broke off of her. That's it. Rhonda, when she joined our challenge, she came in afraid to be on video. She asked one question. And sis was able to be on video in 3 days. By the 3rd day, she had taken over that entire challenge. Some of you are just one question away from hitting your goals and seeing your results. Yeah, absolutely. So the creative therapist says, what are some examples of businesses for people you help? So I help coaches. I help if you're a fitness coach, you're a health coach, everyone that I just mentioned. Christina, the one who was able to go from 474 followers to 40,000, she's a career coach, right? I also help people who are just service providers, period, because a coach, you're a service provider, but service provider. So if you work in insurance, if you're selling insurance, we help you. Erica, she actually works with the education system. So she trains teachers and assistant principals so they can be principals. And she was able to make $750 in 3 days. Right? We help people who own their own spa. I have a client right now, she owns her own spa. So some of you are like, you're counting yourself out. But no, as long as you have a service, we help you. We help realtors, interior designers. Those are the people that we help. And they're able to get amazing results. Amazing results. I've helped therapists. But some of the therapists that I help, they started their own coaching program or their own membership program. So as long as you are a service-based business, you are a coach, and you're like, I want to be able to make an impact, we can help you. Now, we've also helped people who sell digital products. But here's what I recognize with people who sell digital products. You don't want to make enough money, and I don't want to work with you. I know, ouch, that hurt. That hurt. Somebody got offended. You just logged off. That hurt. But I'm not going to front. I don't like working with people who only want to make like $1,000 a month. That doesn't make sense to me. I like working with people where you want to make 10K months consistently, 20K months, 30K months, 40K months, 100K months. Those are the people I like working with. I like working with people who are selling high ticket because you don't need to sell to a lot of people. You just need to sell to a select group of people who are ready to buy right now. I like to work with people who like to move quickly, right? So no procrastinators. I don't work with procrastinators. Y'all get distracted too easily. People who are multi-passionate, love y'all, but you don't have a focus, and that's why a lot of you aren't successful. You got 3 businesses and none of them are making money. No, I don't work with you. I work with the coach, the service provider, the business owner, where you recognize the value in working with the coach. You recognize the value of community. And so you know that once I get in here, your mind is not on, oh my goodness, this, and this. Your mind, you have one focus to get sales by any means necessary. That's who I work with. So if you're like, oh, that's me to the T, let's go get this money together. You don't got to do it by yourself. We have a group of people. They want to work with you. I just had a social media manager in my program. She joined the program, got a new client the following week. That's how fast it is. Now, some of you, you're going to come in, you may not get clients right away. You may not get leads right away because of where you're starting in your business. But if you come in, you already have a proven system. You already been putting out the content. You already have some engagement. We're just going to turn that engagement into payment. If you're coming in, you don't really have an offer yet, please don't expect to be getting leads yet. Our goal is for you to get clarity. Why? Because clarity leads to confidence. Confidence leads to content, and content leads to cash. Hey, Miss Luxury, how you doing? Right? So depending on what level you're in, you could come in, completely skyrocket. You could come in, completely leave with clarity. That's our goal. So if you're in here and you're like, that's exactly what I need, let me tell you what we do in the challenge, right? So the challenge is 5 days. And what we do is we teach you the 5 P's to prosperity on social media. So if you're in here, you're inquiring about the challenge, you want to join the challenge, but you have some questions, now is the time to ask your questions. You can just drop it in the chat, right? So you can ask your questions. So the 5 P's to prosperity on social media, day 1, we teach you how to position your brand. Because if your brand isn't positioned on social media, what's going to happen is people are going to look, but they're not going to buy. And that's what's happening to a lot of you. They are looking, they're not buying. We call these people browsers. Those are the people where you can see them viewing your content, but they're not checking out. So how do we get our browsers from browsing to buying? That's what we show you. And that's by positioning your brand. Day 2, we show you how to package your message by using the power of storytelling. So there are some of you, you know how to tell great stories, but when you tell your stories, they don't convert. The goal is to show you story selling secrets so that now when you tell your stories in your content, people are buying. Day 3, we show you how to produce a 6-figure content strategy. Why? Because the goal isn't to just make $750. The goal is to create predictable income. You want to know that every month you're going into this month, you're making 10K, you're making 15K, you're making 20K. And some of you, the only reason why you're not making that yet is because you don't have a system. You have content, you have an offer, but you do not have a system to successfully funnel your audience from Instagram, from TikTok, from LinkedIn, from YouTube into your offers, into your email list. So we show you how to build that system. And on day 4, we show you how to present your offer. For those of you who feel icky when you're selling on video, you're afraid to sound salesy, we show you how to present your offer in a fun way that energizes your audience to want to buy. That's day 4. And day 5, we show you how to profit from your videos. So again, this is being able to create the predictable 5-figure months. If you're in here, you only want to make $1,000 a month, don't join the challenge. If you're in here, you only want to make $3,000 a month, don't join the challenge. I mean, you can, we can help you do that. But if you are like, I'm ready for big money, it's time to bring big energy. Those are the people that should be joining the challenge, right? So you click the second link in my bio, become a VIP member. Why am I saying this? Because we only have 2 levels. We have VIP and we have Diamond Experience. At the VIP level, you come in, you get the coaching. You also get this at the Diamond level, of course, right? You come in, you get the coaching, you ask your one question, and that one question can take you to the next level, right? You'll get your video homework because we do give you homework every day of the challenge, and we audit the videos for you. Why is this important? Because some of you are posting and you don't know why your content's not performing. So I start to audit your videos. Guess what happens? Your eyes now get trained so that now each time you post, you know why the video works and why the video doesn't work. So you can keep on posting what does work, right? The diamond experience, you get all of that, but you also get this, which is really important. You get the elite marketing strategy session. It's a one-on-one session with me before the challenge. So the challenge starts May 11th. And at the Diamond Experience, when you invest at that level, you actually get to meet with me as early as tomorrow. We can work on your messaging, your content strategy, your offer. And let me tell you, this is what Marianne did. When she booked this session with me, we helped her with her messaging so that when she joined the challenge, she was able to get 5 leads on day 1, 3 leads on day 2, 5 more leads on day 3. That's a total of 13 leads in 3 days, all because she had the pre-work beforehand. So if you're in here and you're like, that's exactly what I need, click the first link in my bio, select Diamond Experience, and join us. You get everything in VIP, but you also get this call. And some of you, you're like, that's what I need. Now, here's the thing. With the challenge, even though we're kicking off May 11th to May 15th, we only allow 15 people in for the challenge. Why? Because we want it to be intimate. If we have thousands of people in there, I mean, sure, I could pay you all attention, but you won't be able to ask your questions. You won't be able to get the attention on your audit. And some of you, you have joined social media programs where you were one of many people and you felt like you were drowning. Some of you, you got the information already. Your problem is implementation. You haven't implemented yet because you don't know how. So in the challenge, we don't just give you information, we give you implementation. Why? Because information plus implementation equals transformation. That's where you get the results. The reason why some of you aren't seeing the transformation, the outcome that you desire, your goals being hit, is because you are missing the implementation piece and you keep joining these programs and no one is holding your hand through it. That's what we do with you in the challenge. We had someone join our challenge where she was heartbroken working with another coach because she paid the girl money and the girl never showed up. But she, one more time, she said, I'm going to cast my net again. She joined the VIP experience, right? And at that time, I was given a call for VIP. So she joined and she got this call with me. And she was just like, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's what some of you need. You got the information. Let us help you implement. So if you're in here and you're like, I need that, second link in my bio for the VIP experience. Or if you're on Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn, feel free to DM me challenge accepted, and I will personally send you an invite. All right, I know we are way over time, but thank you all for rocking with me. Tomorrow I'm going live again. I'm doing 31 content ideas for the month of May. So if you're in here and you're like, I need some new content ideas. Now, let me tell you, the content ideas that I share is not just for you to go viral. The goal is for you to get viral sales. That's the goal, is to fill up your business, is to build your business, right? So 31 content ideas for May. We're going to do that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Y'all have a great day.